match of the day.
And it does seem, Jaws, that like if we go to these bastions, but we have two players who are incredibly capable. When I first was watching all the VODs from Korean contenders, Stalker's tracking is on an inhuman level. It's actually really, really good, and Sharp is a really good hit scan specialist as well. We're actually going to put Glister on to their Bastion, which obviously Glister is usually their primary hit scan player, but both he and Stalker are these kinds of players that can really bring out any of the heroes. They're that like Prophet-esque kind of player, your Carpes, who can just bring out anything like Urster as well.
Looks like Numlocked again. His mouse is too bright. Turn Numlock's mouse down. It is too bright. There you go. They fixed it.
Thumbs up. He likes the color, actually.
Sounds good to me.
Asking if he could have. Can I have a blue one?
Yeah, exactly. Can I have a blue one? Can I have a green? And they're like, well, no. And you have to sit with pink. He's like, well,
fine. I'm not going to be happy about this. I'm going to post an annoyed tweet later, but fine.
Okay. I guess this will be fine, I guess. I was thinking they might pause because Stalker's like, well, I mean, Lister kind of took my Bastion, bro.
Well, Gen.G are going to start off on the defense, Jaws. This will have been their choice. They decided to defend first because Team Envy decided to go to Rise and Lunar Colony, and, well, at the moment, it seems like Gen.G is trying to speedrun this entire bracket. It seems like they're yet to lose any point on an Assault or a hybrid map. So, Team Envy could be the first to take that if they can make an effective rotation past this Bastion. Hathigul's going to come out with a scout. And Team Envy here, it's all about their movement. How are they going to make it past the effective lines of sight of this Bastion and try and pressure out Stalker, who's going to be the primary contester of the point, because he does have multiple cooldowns to keep himself safe in that scenario, using the wall and the ice block.
Now, we saw this from Talent Esports the other day and how to get around this Bastion, like you said, just wall off the Bastion and just kind of hope and pray that you actually make it to the point on time. That's exactly what they are doing, but you can see how quickly those pillars melt. Nice little nade there onto Fire and Gyro, but they're going to be okay and sit in space for a little while.
And it's good to have Dinsei on this team for Gen.G as well, just to keep them from getting too excited. He is one of the most veteran players. Remember him from Kongdu back in the day. He was one of the most story players, and he does rock a fantastic beard when he wants to.
Oh yes, he does. I'm kind of disappointed it's kind of left us, unfortunately. Another beautiful nade there. In fact, everything on Team Envy going extraordinarily low. Lister receives a nade as well, but double shield plus everybody else backing him up. He's going to be okay for the time being. Now, how do Envy play this? Because they're going to need to get up to them, under them at some point. They lift the Bastion off, try and drag him off of the high ground, but he avoids it for the time being.
That's going to be the forced out cooldowns from the Reaper. Going to be not too useful for the foreseeable future. That's a great use of grenade grass there. From the back, they do have the Immortality field. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself.
Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry. Baptiste exists. Oberon is now down onto the point to make sure he can contest. They've already given away 2 ticks, but kills that matter in the end. Ooh, nice little bit tracking there onto Crimzo. Crimzo was behind that whole time, just so he can try and get these nades and obviously the sleep dart as well. If you sleep dart the Bastion, he's at commission for a fairly long time, and you can either get free point pressure off that, or even a position up and near the Bastion as well.
But Jules, this is also really good for Team Envy because they have gained 2 points. That means that now Gen.G don't have the luxury of staying up on the high ground until they feel incredibly good about their potential for an engagement. Now they have to be on that point. They can't give away that tick or they'll be caught without a point A. They're moving on to point B. And how do you get picked by Viana? You get halted, you get naded, you get slept. Halt into sleep is a magnificent combination sometimes.
Yeah, it is. Halt in general is a pretty good ability, some would say.
Pretty strong.
Yeah, pretty strong. Just flashbacks of like London Spitfire.
If only we had Graviton Surge, but on
a shorter
E.
cooldown. On E. E. Yeah, well. Team Envy do have a couple of ults available. They've got the Blizzard, most importantly, to try and isolate this Bastion. They also have Nano. That's about it. Again, Glister's going to be so safe, though. Immortality field just so strong.
Yeah, and they can rotate their defensive cooldowns as well. They can use the Immortality field, then they can use the Bardic Grenade on the friendly Glister, and they can use the Nano Boost to give him 50% damage reduction. And Glister also, he gets 30% damage reduction just from Ironclad while he's in one of his alternative forms.
Just a lot of damage resistance. Kind of hard to kill him, funnily enough. Let's say it's going to be up on the high ground. Look, he's kind of jumping, just trying to get an angle on Glister. There's the Nano on the tank. He's going from above. However, can't jump down just yet. It's actually a Blizzard going down as well, and Oberon just subjected to all of it. Happy will end up going down as well, but now the Blizzard coming through from Gen.G. They're going to jump onto the point. Everybody frozen in place for Glister to set up and do the damage that is needed. Sharp has to escape the point rather readily. Crimzos, again, sitting at the back to try and get these nades and sleep darts off, but issue is, there's a very, very small incline here from the point, and it's kind of hard sometimes to actually get shots onto it. Are not honestly the best when you're sitting on the low ground there. You can hit people at the front of the point, but nowhere near the back if they get pushed away.
Yeah, often you need to be the one rotating in with your team, but if you rotate too far up here, you know that Stalker's just going to come and make a beeline for you. Free should get a free headshot. Numlock can move forward though. He has a supercharger. This could be very good for trying to break through Gen.G's composition, providing it doesn't get destroyed. It's already been put down by Oberon. Envy can wait this out though. They don't need to take this engagement.
That's exactly what they are doing. Knowing Numlock has one of his own. Uh-oh, that's a big flux. Beat's going to come through though. Jaro has another Blizzard. He's built these up so quickly, but again, no one can kill Glister. This is OT as well. Numlock kills Oberon again, but can Stalker actually do anything? Glister's been slept too. This is perfect play from Crimzo. All they needed to do was stop this Bastion. Tank form activated. No more sleep dart available as Glister jumps onto the point.
He got
the sleep again. As I say that, it comes off cooldown and he gets assassinated. Stalker's going to still be alive in this immortality field, but he's not long left for this world. Team Envy in overtime managed to cap the final 33% and move on to point number 2.
The hero of Team Canada showing why he was so lauded after that 2018 World Cup. Draws a lot of people. Hadn't heard of Crimzo before. If we were watching Contenders, they certainly heard of him after that Canadian run. Great play from him. Love to see if he can keep it up. He now can give the Nano Death Blossom to Sharp if they so desire. And actually, it's interesting that Stalker is currently playing in this area rather than on the Crossfire we usually see Speedily play.
It's going to be Matrix coming out.
It's
a lot
gone.
of damage. Yeah.
Where's the hole?
They can just kind of wait for this. I think the hole was already used. Nice little snipe by Huyal though. Crypto does end up going down. Didn't say he's going to be able to get a lot of damage off. And, of course, the bio grenades as well from Rain.
Yeah, if you hit those...
They're just going in, actually.
Yeah, but they have the advantage. They've only got Lucio healing on the side of Team Envy. They want to try and force them to invest some ults here and make them think that it's winnable.
Or just get some ults for themselves. There's going to be the Blizzards in order to stop them from going anywhere. And to be fair, you say that, but when you think about it, Team Envy, they were coming back as well. They were going to regroup, right? I mean, you win a team fight here, that's basically a back-to-back. Well, of course it is, but people like coming and staggering back in, the Blizzard goes off, you're like, well, I can't do anything now. I'm not technically with my team. We can't react to this favorably. They do burn off a large portion of time there.
Yeah, they do burn some time. Team Envy now down to 1 minute and 30 seconds. They do have a couple of ultimates to make use of here, though. Jaru is going to be looking to use that Blizzard Jaws, but he cannot telegraph it too much. Remember, there is the capacity for it to be eaten. Stalker's actually moved over onto the Metro. They may decide to put Oberon.
Oh, they're just going to TP him over.
Yeah, they're just going to be able to swap between both of these angles, just here and there.
Oh,
Observers need to bind for interact,
there he goes. Back over again. Just get walled up and kind of pushed away. But look at that. Instant shield up onto the high ground, as well as Bliss following him as well. Crimzo tries to go for the nade. Does land onto Dunsei, but doesn't do anything else. So he can teleport back over. Glister just dancing with these TPs, and with fire down, no more speed boost to try and interrupt this Bastion. Even Crimzo falls, so now Envy just don't have healers with them.
I remember that TP will not expire until it is destroyed, so Envy has had to do that. And now they're here without a nano boost, without a healer. Team Envy need to get out right now. If they use anything, are they about to stagger a Sigma?
Yeah.
Am I witnessing this with my own 2 eyes?
No, the turret killed him. Stalker's turret finished
That's big
him
brain
off.
from Happy Cool though. He's just like, I can actually
see turrets.
I can unstall myself.
Oh my goodness. That was the first time I think I've ever seen someone try and attempt to stall a Sigma.
Gen.G.
25 seconds now remaining. Gen.G's ults though, my goodness. Stalker's the only one far away.
And they're going up onto the top beam jaw, so there's no way that Team Envy can really do anything about this. Sharp will have to TP up and use a Nano Death Blossom, but he can easily be taken off so easily. And Glister's free to just move between these. They need to destroy the teleporter, but already it's looking dire.
That's a big nade as well. Sharp and Numlock go bright purple. Numlock does get back eventually to full health, but it might be a little bit too late. Numlock end up going down. Beat's going to come through from Envy. They still got the nano boost. They throw it out as well onto the Reaper to try and deal with Glister. But look at this. He's raining so much damage up from above. There's no way they can get on point now. Huyo uses the ult too. They may have gotten the Blizzard off, but the spawns advantage remain with Gen.G. OT ticking through, and 48% on the board for Team Envy. Everybody's having a laugh. And at the end of the day, this could be the last map for Envy in this series. If they do not cap point 1 and at least a competitive on point number 2, Gen.G will go undefeated today.
Well, the good thing about this map for Envy is they did in that final fight get about 40% Jaws. 40 or 50% of the cap on point B, which means that if they do lose point A, it isn't instantly the play for the draw. They'll be able to play for a win on point B. They can also, of course, play for a win on point A if they have a good Bastion defense right here. I like the Stalker is willing to go over onto that Symmetra. Just try and get a little bit more overwhelming. You try and proffer some strategies towards the enemy that they haven't seen before. And when you can manage that, that really strains the calling. You can see the teleporters in action here in our flashback courtesy of production.
How'd you deal with this, man? It's almost impossible,
like
especially if he was on the high ground.
They should have destroyed the teleporter while they were there.
Yeah.
Like, the teleporter is permanent in our current patch until you destroy it.
Issue is, you've got to kill the teleport. You've also got to try and deal with that Bastion too. It's just impossible. How do you kill Bastion?
Well, you
can't.
You won't be able to deal with a Bastion until he stops teleporting.
He is the perfect hero, Harry, is what I'm telling you. Team Envy now are going to try and do the same thing. We've got Sharp on the Bastion, Jaru on the Mei, and of course Crimson and Fire on the Ana and Baptiste respectively. Gen.G can do a little bit of scouting with Stalker. I can imagine they're going to switch to a Mei of their own. We'll see how they end up dealing with this.
Great safety egg being generated here for Sharp. You can actually see that his headshot hitbox, that small power core that comes out of the back when he's in turret mode, is actually exposed. That could come back to bite him in the event of a flank, but I imagine he will be facing them, so I'll head over behind him. Stalker's going to have a quick scout here. They know what we're up against. What is the choice of Gen.G? Either go for Mei, should we go for Sim? This has been attempted before.
It had, did it? They
but
teleported
well.
on top of that small control panel and then died.
So hopefully,
it was pretty sad.
100% teleporter accuracy, that'll do.
That's pretty accurate. Managed to get around the wall as well. Okay. They're not going to wait for this cooldown either, or destroy the teleporter, in fact.
Yeah, they just want to put themselves onto a point, set up a couple of turrets to make sure that anyone engaging onto a point is having a really bad time.
Turrets are so easy to take out, though, especially if you are someone like Sigma.
And you
splash damage doing a lot, and speaking of doing a lot, look at that nade. 4 people grow bright purple. Bliss gets dragged back in as well with the Orisa hold.
So much potential to combo with a Holt with so many heroes, including just a little bit of right click from a Bastion, just 450 DPS unassisted, 900 through an amplification matrix, and you better believe that Fire's ready to try and build one of those up.
That's what you're looking at. Holt into Bastion Fire, and that should be it for Gen.G for the time being. They're going to have to wait, of course, for people to come back. Haven't got that teleporter anymore, though. Stalker has moved it.
They do have Dunsei's Coalescence, though, so they can apply some long-range pressure onto Sharp, even when he's got 2 shields in front of him. May not be able to force him to move due to that Immortality field. It may be more useful as a healing tool here rather than a sieging one.
There's a teleport. Successful onto the point. Jaru's going to get set up. They're going to get destroyed rather quickly, though, by Sharp. Jaru going pretty low as well, but Gen.G still managed to cap a tick. Now to boost onto Sharp also, but a lot of that damage getting negated by that grass. Big nade also onto Huyal. It's going to be their time to strike Crimzo with the big nade. The big play, and they should be able to defend this one, just clearing off the Lucio, and that should be it. Although Sharp's kind of getting owned right now by this Lucio. Bliss refusing to die.
14-year-old prodigy that he is.
Okay, he's out. Sharp's looking rather happy, but also unhappy at the same time with himself. Or rather neutral expression. He knows he's doing pretty well. I mean, one tick.
Swede.
Yeah, well, 1 tick and 1 minute and 50 seconds. Not the worst position to be in.
And Team Envy are in such a good position here with their ultimate Jaws. Jaru has that Blizzard ready to go, and Sharp can easily clean that up. Stalker may decide to wait to put down this Photon Barrier until after Blizzard used to try and make sure that those who are wanting to do damage onto frozen enemies are waylaid by that huge health.
Huge health kind of disappearing on Oberon's screen as he gets taken out. Now 1 minute and 30 seconds remains. Team Envy just getting absolutely demolished by these nades as well. Crimzo hitting so many. And you got to think as well, like, he's getting a lot of ult charge for this too. Nades don't grant as much as you think they do, or at least I didn't think they do. It feels like you get almost nothing, but when you hit these consistently, you're building this ult so fast.
But Josh, the thing is, winning these fights with just their vanilla abilities, so getting a good nade, a good Holt, a good bit of Bastion left click, and that means they haven't really expended any of these ultimates. They've got 6 basically ready to go, and Gen.G are moving into that point where you're thinking about a final push right here. They've only got 1 ultimate to their name. They've barely done any damage. Sharp is inassailable, and Team Envy, whatever they were talking about during the break, it seems like they figured it out.
6-man, thank you very much for that nano. Stalker has that wall. That might be the only thing they need to push through this. Nano boost onto Sharp. He's just switch angle. Now they're just going to run straight towards him. He's still trying to get through that wall. It is cracking. They've got to be so careful. A beat surging them forward, but Immortality is going to keep him alive. Happygold's going to go in as well, but is this going to be enough? The Coalescence onto Sharp and a nade to keep him alive as well. How is he still alive? Someone kill him. Glister goes down as well as he drops to the floor. Numlock just trying his hardest to defend Sharp as best they can. 15 seconds remains for Gen.G, and they still have almost no ultimates to their name, and Envy are sitting on 3.
Still, all of these are going to be so difficult. Jaru can encapsulate the whole point in eyes. You better have checked for whatever, Gen.G. You need a warning about this one.
Yo, setting everybody up. This is their last chance. Jaru's going to throw out the Blizzard on the point. Good luck touching it now. Stalker gets slept on the sidelines. No more 3 Overwatch. OT's going to tick down, and Envy are going to be able to hold on first and make this a series.
And this is where Envy are at their best, Jaws, when they flex the hero pools of their DPS. We talked about Sharp, his hit scan prowess. Put him on a hit scan. Apparently, he's doing a lot better right here. You allow Jaru to flex on that Mei as well, which served him so well throughout the previous Contender season when Mei was so integral, before we swapped over to a Doomfist and a Reaper. The walls are great, and you put Crimzo on one of his best heroes on the Ana. It seems like when Envy are flexing their individual skill sets, that's when they're at their best, but it needs to be concerning to them. But now Gen.G, they can try and force a map where these individual skill sets are going to be less relevant.
There's still match point in the series, of course. Shu coming into the booth looking rather happy with himself. Envy still on the ropes. Gen.G could go undefeated in series score still, but can Envy bite back? I saw Sharp, as soon as it flicked over, he was pretty happy with himself. Didn't die once on that Bastion, of course.
I wonder what the babysitter's fees for Envy are right now for keeping Stalker, for keeping Sharp alive.
And I believe Puyol has accidentally broke his headset. Kind of unfortunate, but there it is. Gen.G 2-1 up in the series. Map number 4 coming up next. Envy versus Gen.G, got a series on our hands. No more 3 Overwatch to be had. However, Gen.G still need to win the next 2 maps in a row in order to take the series.
Yeah, Envy have a reverse sweep situation on their hands if they want to put themselves into that winner's bracket and earn their spot going up against Runaway. It's been a while since we've seen Envy go up against Runaway, Jules. Likely met during Season 2 of Apex. Speaking of which, I want to talk about a particular Apex participant. That's Wiki, who's coming in right now for Stalker. We haven't really seen him so far in this series. Did come out in the previous series against LGE. And Wiki is a bit more of a proficient, I'd say, projectile flex. Stalker's got his particular heroes he's very good at, but he also has a much wider hero pool alongside both a hit scan and a projectile. When you want just a really good projectile, I think Wiki's the way to go. He's got really good Junkrat, really good Farah. He's got a really good Tracer as well. It's like a pocket pick of his. And we're going to Dorado here, so I imagine we may actually see that Farah.
Yeah, I was going to say, why not? Dorado is a very, very good fire map, especially on that first point. Control that clock tower rather well, especially on the defense. It'd be rather frustrating to actually take it down, but we've seen the Farah has been foiled before already in the series. Halt into rock, halt into sleep. It's just almost impossible. Feels like you can't play it. We'll have to wait and see though. Dorado on your screens. Let's get into the action.
Envy are certainly fighting.
They are trying their hardest currently to stay in the series. First hold though on Horizon's got to do a lot for the morale, I'll tell you that right now. It looks like Envy want to run out with the same thing. I mean, you know, they can change, of course they are in spawn, but Sharp's there on the Bastion. I would not mind if I were him at all. And we are seeing that Farah we talked about as well. Anglist are actually on the Bastion too, so rather interesting what we've got running on the defense.
I also find it very telling that Gen.G have kept Dunsei in the roster as their captain. Needs to be that emotional center of Gen.G after that flummoxing hold that Team Envy put towards them on Horizon Lunar Colony. That can shake your confidence when you've been basically uncontested throughout the tournament so far. It was looking so dominant for Gen.G, and then they are dominated so thoroughly by Envy, who apparently are just looking to use this strategy again, and I wholeheartedly support this. Just flex your guns, or your very large weapons in this case, from the side of Sharp.
Oh, maybe not. So, okay, they were just using the May wall to actually boost up to see if anybody was hiding.
Interesting scout, really.
Okay, Sharp's actually going to pop out on the Widow, try and take out the Farah. One shot. Straight to the body. Key now needs to know he needs to keep his distance. Sharp's actually just going to stay on this Widow. Okay. Not for a long while, Harry, have we seen Widow being permanently stuck on.
Yeah, Sharp's going to have to be on some mad flanks here, otherwise he's up against 2 shields. Crimson's already down. He was halted out and then taken down by Glister. Wakid may here be able to just have a little bit of a flank, try and get the 2v1 on Sharp using the Mercy Pocket.
Well, this is what we were saying a little bit before, Harry, about Farah being so good on this map, right? Because you could just hold around this clock tower. It's so hard for you to get an angle on. And Farah against a Widow, normally you put it in Widow's favor, but when you can close the gap between yourself and the Widow rather quickly, it's just a little bit more Farah favored even.
3 HP, it'll do. Sharp manages to survive, it's just a flesh wound. You can walk it off.
See, how's he deal with this? He has to be permanently looking at a spot right now.
Just poking in and out, maybe looking for a little bit of a mistake. He can go for his grapple shots here and there, but that's very dangerous from Wakid. You're in a bad spot,
the
son.
Triple shot on the body, but he still managed to get out alive. Team Envy are making use of this time, though. They are going for this rotation onto the back line, or at least try to. Glister was there to check fire, and Wakid actually gets naded too, so actually he ends up going down. Oh, what a headshot! Oh, Sharp! That's what we wanted to see from the Widowmaker God.
Going for a res, are you? Not on Sharp's watch, and he's got himself another one. Sharp's just going off right now. We said to use your particular skill sets. Sharp's is evidently clicking on heads with the Widowmaker. He's going for it again.
No one can.
He's got the sights activated now as well. If I was Wakid, I'd be switching straight off this Widow, this Farah even. Up against this Widow, like Sharp, you're not going to stand a chance.
He's going to throw out a couple of those cursory rockets. May decide to go back to the new spawn. Knows he can't go to the old one because the cart's so close to moving forward. Team Envy here, definitely not going to be that first point held again, but we saw on Hybrid, they have been reinvigorated by that series. Halftime, evidently, they talked about, we want to play our game. That's what they said in their video intro as well. It's all about playing our game. And Sharp on hit scan heroes is Envy's game. Gen.G, they're bringing out the Bastion still. Wakid moving over onto a Mei. They don't want to swap this particular hero. They want to instead augment it with the Mei, which may be able to do a little bit more pressure towards Sharp. You can hit those long-range headshots, of course. Won't get the one shot, but it will mean that Sharp isn't going to be a factor in the fight for a while. Watch out, Oberon.
That was cheeky. Did you do that fortify there as well? Oh, nano boost! What? With the... No way! Oh, he can't get the Bastion though, but it doesn't matter. He did the damage. Happy finds the dunk onto 2. Make that 3 as he ascends to the high ground and finishes off Wakid as well. How long has it been since we've seen a Widow, and how long has it been since we saw a Nano Widow?
A Nano Widow. Jaws, Team Envy, they've innovated in this hall before. They did it before when they brought Mickey into their roster. The first people to really go for that Reinhardt charge through bomb combo, and now they're bringing up their own combos again. These guys are innovators, they are thinkers, and they're doing it once again on this historic stage.
Feeling pretty galaxy brain right now. Sharp's trying to find yet another angle. This is going to be way harder to take anybody out at this point. Really looking for that elevation with the Mei wall to bring someone up. Hopefully clip their head. Window has been activated as well, so no one wants to peek at this point. The shield's dissipating.
Yeah, at this point you can just wait out the amplification matrix. Sharp can get all the information through this window, so no one's really in any danger. Apart from Wakid, apparently Wakid's in danger. You're peeking Sharp. Why has no one learned not to peek Sharp?
I think he got walled off. Good spot for Sharp to be in, just holding these corners. Problem is that Arisa can't check in. What a nice little flank from Jaru as well, trying to isolate the Arisa, but the issue is you're still having to let Sharp get all this space. Tank did get sleeped as well, and now Numlock using that supercharger. Sharp going for the shot, misses with a grapple, but it doesn't matter because Glissa is dead. And Gen.G only have Wakid for the damage. They're moving forwards, but Gen.G still have one more attempt at defense.
Glissa returning on the emergency Doomfist. He's
Someone
moving
needs to touch
quickly,
though. Someone needs to touch.
Oberon's so low.
Oberon's low. Unlocked is as well. Going for the 1v1 on the point. Sharp takes out Wakid. Nano Doomfist as well. The only thing that can deal with him. Glissa is back in the fray. Instantly frozen up though, but being kept alive somehow, in some way. 2 meters do remain, but Gen.G might have just found the defense they require. A big sleep in midair on Huyal though. Can't get the shots off required, and Glissa ends up going down. A beat to send them forward as well as Team Envy jump on this last point. A big nade. Oberon's going to go so low. Just focus him and get him off the point. This might just be it. But the Mei Blizzard was good. Wakid comes back into the fray, frees everybody up and takes them down.
It's much closer than it should be right here, but Densei still has his amplification matrix. He's put it down and everyone's in front of it.
He's got to dodge around it right now, but it's going to be a little bit harder than that. Wakid freezing people up in a matter of microseconds. I think is going to fall. And with still only 2 meters remaining for Team Envy to complete, Gen.G somehow managed to defend.
Could you have guessed, Jaws, that this is Gen.G's map pick going on to Dorado? Team Envy look very well versed in this, and now we're going to have to hold this super far back. Crimso going to move over now on to the Moira. Sharp's given up the Widow, back onto the Reaper. They want to play this a little bit more standard, still have Jaru on that Mei though. They want to be able to check Glista and Wakid when they get a little bit too frisky, they get a little bit too aggressive, because you can't pass through a Mei wall even with Wraith Walk.
Nano Doofus yet again. Oh, the punch into the rock. No hope of surviving that. That should be it really. But yeah, this is just going to rotate his cooldowns back out. And a nice little nade to send Envy back.
Won't be able to get the kill there onto Jaru. A clutch ice block right there as he builds up towards his Blizzard. Jortis can once again, in such a tight confine for the payload, be incredibly good at allowing that distance to be gained and occasionally securing kills as well. Right now, just posturing, figuring out where the battle lines will be drawn. They want to control this high ground potentially, give them a great place to try and engage onto Gen.G.
Meteor Strike, will Glissa go on the offense with it? Like he is, he's just choosing to get on the high ground. And use Seismic Slam from up there though. Just get some big DPS. Now Jaru moving forward, has the Blizzard straight on top of the Orisa, but she's using the Fortify to get out in time, but Oberon just caught on the edge, gets slowed up, instantly killed off, and now Huyal lifting everybody up to his level, but the issue is the rest of his team are already going to go down. It's now up to Wakid to try and do the damage necessary to keep them in this fight.
Bliss remains. Will he be able to touch? He will be able to get in, as will Oberon on the Wrecking Ball now. But still, Team Envy they're undermanned. Soon Crimzo will return using that fade.
Sharp's going to go down though, so now the fight is looking rather Gen.G favoured. 50 seconds now remains. Jaru may be able to build up to another Blizzard here, but it's looking fairly unlikely with the amount of poke damage he's being able to get down.
It's going to be all about Sharp. He's got the Death Blossom ready to go. He needs to figure out what the mitigation conditions are. Get Wooyon to use that accretion so it can't be cancelled. Look for Glister in that punch. Someone else needs to try and tank that while Jaru's spinning.
Sharp still moving forward. Speed boost might just be all that he needs. He has got the beat to back him up with if necessary. Wooyon did use his ult last fight, so they can use it rather freely.
Punches down. Just a moment, he's going to teleport in on top of a wall. They've created him a platform to use his Death Blossom.
And there he is in the back. Oh my goodness, they did not see that one coming. Beat's going to come out as well, just for the victory bells and whistles. The Doomfist is going to come down, but yeah, Glister, you're not long for this world. 4 seconds remaining for Team Envy as they manage to complete.
Envy are all about innovation, Josh. I've never seen that done before. Put up a wave wall behind them so that your Reaper can teleport onto that, have a little bit of extra high ground. And that high ground's so important because it means that when he drops down with the Death Blossom, he can get too much ground and he can get a little bit more damage out before he hits the ground. And the ground is where he's more vulnerable, Jaws, to the punch of the Doomfist. He needs that extra travel time, needs that extra time doing damage before it can be cancelled. Great play there from Envy. 2 innovative plays in one attack. What more could you ask for? Ladies and gentlemen, this is entertainment at Gauntlet.
4 seconds remaining as well. Not too bad at all. There's the replay. Like I said, they didn't see it coming. It was like they didn't even see him teleport, to be honest, because, well, to be fair, when you're thinking of Gen.G there, and you're kind of looking forward, it's like, well, like, where's he gone? Is he on the floor next to us? Like, obviously they didn't see the main wall, or maybe they heard it, but they were like, okay, so he can only really go in one position. Can't really catch us off guard that quickly, but apparently he can. Defensive Bastion here, as well as Jaru going on to the Pharah. It's very well looking like it could go to a game 5 in all honesty. However, Gen.G's defense on 3rd point was looking rather strong.
I'll have to see if they can continue that momentum going forward. Jaru we'll be able to play this in the same manner that Wiki did around this clock tower. You can currently see to the left of your screen. It's a great offensive place to play, Jaws. Glister may want to try and play the Widowmaker, just as we saw Sharp do. Both of them are very accomplished on those heroes. But right now, we just want to roll out with this Bastion, see if they can just out-comp Team Envy in a straight Bastion versus Bastion fight. Obviously, your Pharah's going to have more in terms of how much shield pressure is going to be given out than Wikid will on that Mei. I'll just see if Gen.G, upon scouting this out, will want to remain with this composition.
It's like they are going back. Potentially to change over to something else, or just kind of foregoing the point for the time being. Yeah, they're just setting up Glister with an Immortality field, so he can just poke away at the shields. But Jaru's got a nice little angle here in which he can destroy it. So he chooses to, but currently Densei is just checking him on the arm.
You know what they were doing there, Joel? So using Immortality Field, so Bliss instantly has that Amplification Matrix. So he didn't give him a shield, so he was taking lots of damage. That means he got a huge advantage. Look at Crimzo, he's 32%. Now you can put that down. Goodbye, everybody who's got behind that, but no, Bliss is dead.
Oh, this is bad news.
Good idea, poor execution.
Yeah, you didn't really expect all that damage to come out. I mean, at that point, you want to just save both those cooldowns. Immortality Field plus the Amplification Matrix so he doesn't instantly die when he wants to get in front of that window. Yeah, that was a really quick generation because of the ability not to die, but to take about 400 DPS a second. Lots of healing coming through. Unfortunately, we're going to have to try that again. Are they going to continue shooting over on? They are, because instead they're trying to have Jaru circumnavigate and destroy that Immortality Field instead, so they can catch Glister off guard and deliver that killing blow. Because still, Gen.G, they're now 1 minute and 20 down, Jaws, and this car has barely moved. Go for that miracle sleep onto Jaru, but doesn't end up landing. Okay, now they're starting to move. They've got Nano Boost available. You're up too high. Densei is quite a lot of work on this Ana. It does take a direct body shot though, so has to scurry for cover. Supercharge being used by Numlock. Just generated these so quickly. Beautiful sleep. Now's the time to move. They need to be able to either focus him out or just move this payload up and until you get to this archway for cover. And they once again use that method to farm the Amplification Matrix. Jaws, they had it before Crimzo even had one. Team Envy though, they're going to have 5 ultimates on the defense of this courtyard, but the car's still moving! It's still moving, and Sharp had to switch over to the Traitor as well to get back in time. Glister now just moving on forward. Oh boy, you do not want to stand in the way of him right now. Immortality Field comes out. Justice reigned for about half a second. Jaru still managed to kill Densei, but it doesn't matter. Point gets capped by Gen.G, and now they have 4 minutes to move through this second.
I thought the UI was lying to me, Jules. Both myself and Envy didn't realize that the cart was still going on, and they had to make a rotation to actually... I thought they'd already gone through onto that main plaza marketplace to try and put up a defensive position. Apparently not. Gen.G can now all be put up onto the high ground using Wakid's Mabel. Some great coordination here. You can see how hard these guys scrim. They're so well drilled in these more advanced strategies, even if Wakid's going to throw himself down onto the low ground by conserving the momentum of the Holt using the ice block.
A little bit unlucky.
Glister's still up here, so it's still a win. Nope,
You
never
say
mind.
that, he got dragged off almost instantly. Crimso's there with the nade, hits the wall unfortunately. Perfect though was that wall by Wakid, blocking off the rest of the team. This is going to come in through as well. Tank mode on the side. This looks rather unwinnable for Envy currently. Jaru fending off against about 4 people on the side there. Glister does end up going down. In fact, Sharp does find 2. It's Bliss and Glister end up falling, but they still have Wakid for the control on the payload. Continuing it to get it moving, but the problem is right now is Team Envy are going to be able to regroup as 6 a lot quicker than Gen.G are currently, as Glister has to come back from spawn. Yeah,
very slow here as some Gen.G are going to be trying to return, and right now Gen.G are just pushing their luck and pushing their payload as they do so, just watching to see where Team Envy want to set up their defense. Team Envy are going to be woefully under-resourced for the next fight as well. No ultimates available, but no Wakid is available right now for Gen.G, so the time will continue to tick down. 3 minutes remain, so this is far from woeful for the side of Gen.G.
Feels like a rather big misplay there, obviously dying when you had the wall up and available. Didn't really expect the damage coming in all that icicle.
Is he just going to push the cart again? Are they going to try and use Wuyol as like a main tank here, an anchor tank, to present such a huge threat that everyone just concentrates on that while Oberon pushes the cart?
They don't know
they can halt from behind them, actually. They can halt them off the back of a bridge.
Oberon lying in wait. He is going to have to touch the payload at some point. As soon as he touches that payload, they're going to know. Glister is asleep as well. He's being rather sneaky at this point. Going for that hold. Doesn't find anybody. Now he's isolated. They know he is there, which is going to be the problem. A wall up onto Glister. He is shielded off, but again, Oberon may be in a little bit of trouble. Kind of isolated himself against the wall with the shield and is still touching the payload. And now Glister has the high ground. Window available to him as well. And the nano boost. The shields are going to disappear almost instantly. All they have to... Oh, that little pole was getting in the way. But no, he's back in the action. Do not worry. That's all going to fade away rather soon, but so is Numbox Hellfire. A nano boost onto Sharp on the sidelines, but Immortality Field keeping everybody alive, and Sharp has to actually disengage from the high ground.
He's too far away to get anything done, Jaws. Glister's sitting pretty up here. No one can really peek out on him. They've tried to wall him up, and there's Crimzo trying to be a hero.
Glister's still on the high ground. How do you get him off this platform? I just don't know. Jaru is going to have to throw something in. He has got that Blizzard, which is landed on the payload, but Sharp's already dead, so little follow-up damage available now for Team Envy, and Glister is still here, mowing the rest of Team Envy down.
Peek me, I dare you. He's throwing out tank shells left and right. They haven't moved the cart yet, though, Jaws. Envy have drained so much of the time bank. They've turned a super winnable scenario from Gen.G into one long fight there. Gen.G were consistently winning, but drained 2 minutes of their time bank. And so many ultimates as well. Look, Gen.G now have nothing to try and move this forward. Wakid's almost going to have a Blizzard, but now they can re-engage with the sound barrier.
That nade did land on Glister as well. He's going low. Immortality Field going up, but Crimzo is going to find a big flank. Misses the sleep dart, but it might not matter. He rotates these nades well. This could be all over. Another nade lands. Huyo gets afflicted, but still Team Envy trying to fight. Death Blossom available. Sharp is right on top of them, but gets taken out by Glister. Wakid needs to be able to find a kill here, or at least an isolation with the wall to make this work. They haven't got the damage to follow this one up with.
Crimson just remains a menace. He's free killing up at the top draw. Someone needs to try and interrupt it. That'll do!
The sleep will do it. No, well, almost no healing now available for Gen.G if they can block off Bliss. The cart is a couple of meters away, but their time bank waning away as well. 15 seconds now available. Crypto Jaru pick up the kills. He wakes up, kills off 2, and this is Team Envy's defense.
Crimzo's been alive for about 2.5 minutes now. He hasn't died. He's just been pumping out healing like it's nobody's business, Jaws. And he's been absolutely the MVP of this 3-minute fight.
Cart ticking back. Gen.G can't even touch.
Good hold.
Team Envy come up with the win. Looking like they're going to reverse sweep Gen.G. This series is going a lot longer than I think Gen.G were anticipating as well. They've been subbing people in and out. We'll have to wait and see if they want to go back to the original roster that did win them the first couple of maps. But wow, Envy coming back in clutch.
And this is such great news for the hopes of all the other regions who have to topple Korea coming in. Gen.G, we're only the 3rd seed coming in from Korea, Jaws, and they're looking mighty powerful. Envy, They have a second seed coming out of North America, and they are definitely coming alive right here. It looked as we went in towards our third map, especially after that second point defense on Horizon, but maybe this was all over. Maybe Gen.G were going to be the overlords going in to just fight against Runaway, as they will have so many times during Korean Contenders.
Jinsei looks like he's actually changing out here, so we are getting a couple of subs too, but we're going to jump to a quick break, guys. Map number 5, the penultimate map, is coming up soon.
They don't just play for a team. They play for every fan, every rival, every moment, every match. And when everyone watching expects the best, they perform with the best.
So Team Envy, we came number 2 seed coming to NA, and nobody's better than us. Yeah, I'm not really too worried about competition in the Gauntlet. I think as long as we play our game, this meta is really good for us.
안녕하세요. 저희는 Gen.G 오버워치 컨텐더스 팀입니다. 저희 Gen.G는 한국 최고의 시설과 환경에서 건틀렛을 준비하고 있습니다. 이번 건틀렛에서는 좀 예상치 못한 전력으로 나오도록 하겠습니다. 기대해주세요.
We are Gladiators Legion. Our goal is to prove to everyone that we are a good NA team and on the world scale.
Game number 5, Envy versus Gen.G. Envy looking to make the reverse sweep become a reality. Just won the last 2 games, even held Gen.G as well on Horizon first. This is absolutely insane, and I did propose the question we did earlier on as well. Is this a good meta for Sharp? The answer is yes, if he can play Bastion and if he can get nanoed on winners.
So what you're saying is not so much of a great meta for Sharp as much as this meta presents a couple of opportunities for Sharp to flex. But also, it's kind of a good meta for Sharp, like we saw in the Overwatch League Grand Finals, just what you can do with a well-prepared Bastion strategy. Or bring out a Widowmaker and give a nano boost for I don't know what reason.
The possibilities are endless.
Envy definitely here are thriving on set plays that they have practiced before that no one else is doing. They're all about that innovation. Envy's basically the lab. We've got 2 substitutions, I believe, on the side of Gen.G, trying to swap it up to go back to their original control roster. They were incredibly dominant on Boost Sound. They want to recapture that magic. We get to pick the map again.
Didn't say out creative in. Wakid out, Stalker in as well. So 2 subs, like you said, going back to they played on Control, very start of the day, Busan. Now, a bit of a different map, requires a lot of different picks as well. If we're looking at things like Night Gardens, we've discussed it before, but you can play Pharah, we can see a little bit more Jaru Pharah. But we know what happened last time. 2-0 on Busan to start out the series.
Came down to a lot of very good Doomfist play draws, a lot of very good Reaper play as well. Stalker and Glister. They did so well to divide attention and then conquer on top of that. I wonder if they'll be able to recapture that magic.
Can they make the reverse sweep become a reality? Team Envy, one more map away, and they'll have secured it, but Gen.G, the same for them. Both teams on match point. Control Center will be the first map as well. So this will be way more stand. We ain't seeing Bastion on here. We're not seeing Widowmaker Harry. We are just seeing Reaper Doom, which is not where Team Envy's strengths have lied. It's definitely been Gen.G favored when it goes up against those mirrors. Want to see if they want to pull anything special out here as well. You know, maybe McCree. I doubt it, but you know, just throwing ideas out. But probably not going to happen. Chubb's going to teleport people forward and then switch to Reaper.
Fortunately for Gen.G as well, not so much room for Crimson to deflect his Ana. 8 enemies slept on his time in Ana on the previous map, as well as all of that time, basically 3 minutes free healing across a very long fight, but as it broke down, just came in with the advantage of the Ana. Stalker's going to teleport everyone forward, and as usual, we're going to be seeing the meeting of the Doomfist and the Reaper likely in this lit room. Thus far though, Team Envy much faster on the run-up. Perhaps they actually invested the speed boost, so they're so much quicker than Gen.G was. They got the premium on positioning from high ground, and Jaro can eat a rock.
Rather telegraphed punch, I think. Unfortunately, wasn't even behind the shield, so that rock just landed square right between the eyes. And what happens now? Well, you're just going to get run over. And that will be Gen.G winning the first fight. Imagine how much that rock hurts, by the way, if you just get smacked in the face.
That's a lot of mass.
Yes, I mean, he was sitting there charging a punch, and he maybe. I hope he didn't question why he got hit by it.
Yeah, it's because he went out of the shields for very little reason, actually. He was trying to go for a little bit of a wider angle so that he could maybe go across 1,000 more people, but unfortunately, he just wasn't protected enough. Gen.G now in this defensive position. They can try and check Envy as they make their inroads. Crimson's almost got a couple less than ready to go. We're going to be fast on the draw with that, no doubt.
Joe's still looking for an entrance, a little bit more scared now of the rock. You see that? Got speed boost, he ran straight away from Huyal. Those coalescences coming out, but such a better angle for Gen.G. With Numlock going down as well. It's kind of bad, but Glister is going to get traded here, so still winnable for Envy. The problem is Glister will get back to the point rather quickly on Doomfist, of course, comparatively to Numlock on the Orisa.
Going to be moving forward. Gravitic Flux is alive and well. Will they be able to hit a good one? It's a question. There's nothing to answer on Team Envy, but doesn't seem like it was channeled properly.
Hugo sub 20 HP there as well. He gets smacked into the wall, and Gen.G all this time. Harry, of course, what are they doing? They're building up percentage on the point, up to 50% now. Glister going extremely low. Had to use that Meteor Strike to get out alive.
They have this narrow idea of a passageway here. Jaws, they can go in and use Flux.
I mean, that beat just kind of got completely denied there. Stalker's health bar just remained at about 100%. That was kind of unfortunate for him. He couldn't burn him down. He was in the front line just dealing so much damage now. This is almost 1.5 fight territory. We're on 75% in Team Envy. Harry, they haven't had a fight.
This mirror matchup isn't great from Jaws. Gen.G are just so good at it.
There's coalescence, so many lights, so many effects going off. It was hard to see. But all we know is the kills are going Gen.G's way. 87% now. This is now one fight territory for Envy. Like I said before, cast your minds back to Busan. 2-0 for Gen.G on control, and it's looking that way once again.
It's going to have to be fire attacks. It's been halted in. It's going to get chased down by the Orisa. Will he be able to survive long enough for the rest of his team to rejoin him here? It's looking dire for Team Envy, Jaws.
OT ticking through one by one by one now. They're getting back onto the point. Jaru does actually end Glister's life, though. Potentially the turnaround. Sharp has got ult, but he needs help. He just spins to win on the point, but gets completely denied. That grasp just denying the entire ult and turning it into shields. Oberon finds a double kill. Would you look at that?
Oberon
a 100-0 on Control Center.
He just remains, Jaws, such a stalwart mountain that you have to summit if you want to beat Gen.G in this vanilla fight, in this neutral mirror with the Doomfist and the Reaper. Oberon's Orisa is so integral to it. He's so hard to kill. He's doing so much damage. During that fight, the second to last, he actually flanked around the back, put down the supercharger, so that Envy had to actually uninvest their speed boost, as it were, to actually go back and try and kill that. They were caught in that narrow corridor, means Glista can walk on through, get a supercharged seismic slam onto so many people. Gen.G, when it comes to their control tactics, seem unparalleled thus far, but Envy, they can still have a reverse sweep here. Not coming out of something new, they're going to have to try and innovate with what they got.
Gyro a little bit more wary now, but you've got to be wary of Glista. Straight through the shield, straight into a wall yet again. Gen.G picking up first blood. They do force Team Envy all the way back. Team Envy don't really want to fight this again. We've seen a little bit actually of Team Envy scrapping with the 5v6. Does remind me of their old mantra, of course, every fight is winnable. But point's going to get taken by Gen.G once again.
Control gets a whole lot less winnable when you give away the first cap. Team Envy needs to move fast here to stop Gen.G from really setting up a bastion of defense on the point, but they're very low on tools to try and siege through this. They've got the coalescence, but Creative does as well. Just looking to try and get the second one, they're exactly the same.
Or coming out with the coalescence for Gen.G. Mr. just trying his hardest to stay out of fire, but not quite so lucky. He does get burnt as Fire takes the kill. Numlock now moving forward as well. Got to move past the shields, and what a perfect move there from Fire. Removing literally everybody from Gen.G out from behind the brand new placed Orisa shield. Overall, the rest of the team did not stand a chance. And for the first time in Lijiang, they managed to cap the map.
Gyro's doing such a good job thus far of catching Glista when he misses those punches. You don't even often see that Gyro will charge a punch the entire way. He wants to take the advantage while he sees it. Just get a quick knock onto Glista so he takes a little bit of damage and he's out of position. Has to invest more either to get out or he ends up being killed by Team Envy, who now have the defensive advantage with a supercharger and 2 ultimates. 4 even.
Nice punching by Gyro. Has to look for that seismic slam to escape. Supercharge coming out as well. Everything gets lifted up though. What an aggressive push from Team Envy. Is going to get matched with a beat, so Numlock's going to be more than safe for the time being. Oberon not quite so lucky as he placed down his own supercharger. And the rest of the team are now going to have to play it behind this wall, and you can't really push in this situation either, so you can see Team Envy doing a little backing up for themselves. Numlock though does end up going down. This is Gen.G's time to strike. They're moving on forwards.
They can move on forwards, but they're moving into the waiting grasp of Happy Cool. He does have a gravitic flux ready to go. If they are halted together here by Numlock, it could be trouble.
It looked like a mutual
he's
stun
off the
almost
side.
there, but no, Crimzo was the one that got connected with the punch. Straight off the side, and Glista slam sharp into a wall as well. Gen.G are going to take control of this point as soon as Numlock goes down. What a perfect play. Almost, that was the perfect play from Glista. Remove Crimzo, no healing left for Team Envy, and that's going to be the point for it.
Evidently Crimzo was as confused as us. We thought that Gyro would be the one to block it, but actually he manages to hit Crimzo. He fades, but there's no vertical movement on that. And then Glista can just try and finish off here. And now, huge advantage for Stalker when it comes to using that Death Blossom. He's got a full one. Sharp doesn't have anything. So long as he sees that accretion come out, he's free to use it. He can't even get punched out of it now. This is the go moment for that Reaper.
Might not even need it, to be fair, Harry. Although Coalescence is actually being invested here by Crimzo. There it is from around the corner. Fire doesn't not expect that. And now Stalker just marching on forward. Has to play a little bit more tempered though, but decides, you know what, I'm going to take another kill with me. Glista doesn't going down, but still the point control is in Gen.G's hands. 70% building up, but Team Envy are not out of this fight just yet. Now moving on to the courtyard.
And I'm not going to have to rejoin his team, but they have to move on forward. Jaws percentages are growing. They get the punch and they're taking out Stalker.
Not bad start to the fight. Huyao does send one up high in the sky. The rocket's going to connect as well with Happy Cool, who's going fairly low. This is now back in the action with a meteor strike straight on top of Happy Cool's dead corpse. Little bit of BM. Fire still trying to do his best on the Lucio. He's going to send the beat in. They know they need to win this fight. It's 95% building up, and Jaru finds 2 kills. He is not done just yet. He needs to keep Team Envy in this fight, but gets slammed by Glista, who's yet again just popping off on this Doomfist. How do you deal with him?
The crowd loves him, Jaws, and apparently so did Gen.G.
OT ticking down, Stalker back in the mix. Glista finds another kill onto Crimzo. It's now the 1v1. Somehow, Stalker gets the shift off in time, but Team Envy, they have reinforcements on the point.
Sharp getting the babysit from Happy Cool. Team Envy remain in this series. They can still sweep this back. They need to hold on for 2 fights, Jaws. Gen.G only need to win 1. They got a couple of tools coming up. Both of the DPS ultimates, a supercharger and a sand barrier. They're going to need that to answer Happy Cool with a gravitic flux. If they can force out an early sand barrier from Bliss on the side of Team Envy, this could be all theirs as we come down to the last fight and potentially Team Envy's final fight for that chance to get to the winner's bracket.
Oberon's got the supercharger, like you said. They're going to slowly move in. The beast's going to come out. Happy Cool's got the ult. The grab's going to come up, and this is going to be it. Slam down on Oberon. You have to isolate it, but too late. Stalker in the middle of the point, using the ult. Death Blossom doing so much damage, but Jaru's coming out big again. The savior of Team Envy sends himself high in the sky. Meteor Strike used. A Glister ends up going down. Team Envy looking for the reverse sweep, and it all starts here on Lijiang. OT's going to tick through. 2 coalescences coming out, but it's not going to be enough to keep Gen.G in this game.
And this is exactly what we said. Bliss used the sound barrier early. Happy Cool finds him, puts everyone up in the air, brings them down, and brings down Gen.G's hopes of winning Lijiang Tower Night Market.
OT ticking through. This is Envy's map here. They need to now win one more. This series has gone the complete distance. Team Envy looking down and out in the 3rd map. Pulling it back, dealing with the substitutions that Gen.G had put in. And this is not like Busan, how that went earlier on. It was 2-0 and rather a clean sweep as well, coming through from Gen.G. The series is the series is going to end here also.
Jaws, think about all the OWL scouts that are here watching this game. What does it say about a player that they can bounce back from being so thoroughly flummoxed in this series? It says a lot about their mentality. And that's one of the things you look for in a player, as well as just mechanical skill. Someone you can work with, someone you can coach. Right now, Team Envy are looking like they have the perfect brains to be competitive Overwatch players, and they are remaining in this game. They can still reverse sweep this. Gen.G are also going to be looking to finally claim that victory again with a kill on Numlocked.
It's not possible. Oh, he made it! He made it, don't worry. No one hold your breath, it's fine. Stalker is alive. Not quite so lucky on Team Envy though. Oh, although fire! Nice little boot. A lot of ult charge as well from the Lucio, but once again, Gen.G find the first cap.
It's always the first cap with Gen.G. Seems like they're much better at taking that first aggressive push, Jaws, and often Glisters for one connecting. Getting that early kill onto Numlocked with the help of Stalker, the Orisa, and the tank line, the whole. The accretion. You don't want to be investing that fortify too early, but sometimes it's a risk you have to take.
Team Envy have so much to prove, being one of many NA teams that are currently in the Gauntlet. Glister is going to go down as Sharp and Stalker find kills on each other's teammates. No way you're going to be able to win that fight. They lost too many too early. Gen.G in a good position now. Look at the ults they've got online. They've got that Meteor Strike. They've got the Coalescence as well to match Crimzo's. Team Envy just so far away from the tank ults. Only 30-40% each.
Yeah, both of the tanks being very easily taken out at the start of the previous fights. Numlocked is now the main focus of Gen.G. They're not looking for the DPS duel as much. We just want to get rid of him. This main nexus for Team Envy to play around. They may get pushed off again.
Oh, Jaru gets hit with a point-blank rock. This should be this fight. There's no way you're surviving this. They invest both ultimates here as well, but so do Team Envy. They only had the Coalescence going into the fight. They used it, but Gen.G's ults, look at that. Almost clean sweep, Harry. They've got 4 coming online.
Full tank ultimates. They got the soundbar ready to go and they may not even need it. Happy Cool may not even have this Gravitic Flux by the time that this round hits overtime. We're looking at a single fight, Jaws, because this comp, it takes so long to set up. We need to look at huge individual plays here. Jaru, Sharp, they need to find a way to circumvent the accretion of Wuyol. It got Jaru last time. He cannot afford for the same thing to happen again.
Holt into Flux, or at least escapes for the time being. The beat is there, a little bit late for Team Envy to match, but it didn't really matter. Glister ends up going down as well. I think he was expecting a little bit more HP from his healers, to be honest. 95% now building, and Gen.G looking to make this a clean sweep. Crimzo gets hit with a rock. Team Envy have 2 people left to get back to the point. OT ticking through. Jaru's going to go down, and Team Envy halted at the very end as Gen.G will claim Night Gardens and claim the series 3-2.
No miracles this time for Envy, Jaws. It was a valiant fight from the Western team, returning to this historic arena to pick up the mantle that that they left in Season 1 as these innovators, one of the first teams to come to a major international competition in Korea and beat the hosts. They still have a chance to work their way through the lower bracket tomorrow, Jaws, but they will not be going up to the winners bracket to face Runaway. That honor will be Gen.G's. We see some Korean on Korean violence. Envy right now, I imagine their spirits remain high. It was heartbreaking, but we will have the handshakes, and you know that everyone looking at this, they admire the spirit that Envy had to come back from such a dire position. They hadn't capped any points. They hadn't even claimed a tick in the first 2 maps.
Envy has done, like you said, an absolutely fantastic job. None of them happy have faced not only defeats, but had many victories here as well, of course, being Apex veterans themselves. We're, of course, going to have an interview in just a moment. Jaru came here with something to prove also. A lot of big Doomfist player names in Korea. Wanting to make sure he could be up there with some of the best in the world. I think he has proved it in some senses. We know Sharp, fantastic hit scan. Bastion just almost on another level. Same with his Widowmaker, to be fair, as well. But Jaru standing up to some of the very best Korea has to offer. That is definitely an achievement.
There's a lot to be said of their coach, Chu, as well, Jules. We saw so many innovative plays. The teleport onto the Maywall, the Gravitic Flux into Nano Widow, the brainchild of their coaching, of course. Preparing for an interview on stage, you're going to see Miro come on down, but let's just talk about our winners for a quick second. Gen.G looking absolutely dominant. They were only the 3rd place seed coming in from South Korea, but they're looking so on point. This is definitely Glister's meta, and being able to rotate between Wakid and Stalker is a huge asset for them as well.
Yeah, and now they face Runaway tomorrow, like you said. Another very scary opposition. Of course, we haven't seen Runaway play just yet. Them and Atlanta Academy did end up getting a bye into that upper bracket. Atlanta Academy just coming off a massive hot streak as well over in North America. They're looking almost unstoppable, but where does it count? Counts here on the international stage. MV, like we said, can definitely hold their heads high. Does look like we are going to go to an interview as well with Glister over on the floor. I kind of want to hear what he has to say, what he's got to say about Jaru, to be fair.
Yeah, like, definitely there's going to be a lot of Jaru talk here. He's going to have a lot of respect for his opponents. It was so close, and of course, respecting their mentality as well. They managed to keep it in there for so long after being in dire straits for 2 maps. I just can't stop talking about it. How amazing it is they brought it back.
So the mental has to be so strong. Like you said, definitely help with the coach from Chu as well on the side of Team Envy to keep them in the game as well. Looks like we're going to the interview.